Welcome back, everyone, to Onslaught Gaming 40K. And my name is General Slaughter. And this is Ops, episode 15. And today, we're going to construct 3 army lists on the new army builder called the New Recruit. Fantastic new army builder platform where a lot of people have been raving about this army builder, saying that it's just like Battlescribe. As most of you know, Battlescribe is no longer going to be updated or supported. So I no longer allow them at my events. So I wanted to teach you how to use the New Recruit, the new army builder tool. All right. So let's take a look, build these 3 World Eater lists, and make it a fun show. Stay tuned. All right, everyone. So this is the New Recruit, the best army builder for miniature games, as they like to call it. You can go to newrecruit.eu. You have a lot of options here. I really like this. It's pretty amazing. They have a Discord link as well. So if you have any questions, you can talk to them in Discord. New Recruit is absolutely free. If you want to support them, just like Battlescribe, you can support them by giving them some donations, things like that. You get some cool bonus features as it details there. They not only have Warhammer 40K 10th edition, they also have the Old World, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Kill Team, and Warhammer Army Projects, which I assume is something that I've already been delving into, which is where you put all of the models that you have in your list, and then you can do some type of project with that. But yeah, New Recruit's pretty awesome. They have a wiki as well. They have the mobile app for both your Android and iPhone. Pretty amazing. I really like it. So let's delve into building a World Leaders list. All right, so I already went ahead and I signed in, so nobody had to, go through all of that grueling typing and passwording and stuff like that. So this is how it looks when you're building a list. You can actually select right here what game system you want to play on. So Age of Sigmar 3.0, the 9th Age, Old World, Warhammer 40K 10th edition, which is what we're going to use. There's options to create lists, Battlescribe import, sync list, delete list, things like that. Group list by faction, sort list alphabetically, skip, delete confirmation, things like that. So I went ahead and I called this the Chaos World Eaters Ops 15, since we're doing this for the show. 51 minutes ago, I was messing around with this. I deleted a couple of things because I wanted to show you today exactly how it works. So just click right here, and then you go to creating your list, and you're going to immediately see these red octagons with the exclamation marks in them. Right, this roster requires 1 selection of a character. So obviously, it's going to show you what you need to do, and if your list is illegal and stuff like that. So configuration, I've already went ahead and included the configurations, but what configurations do for battle size is you select the size of the battle. So Strike Force 2,000 points. I went ahead and added the Blessings of Khorne reference on here as well. All you got to do is press these plus markers right here. Detachment choice. So obviously we're dealing with the Berserker Warband because it's still in index. And I prefer to do this every single time. But show hide options, I wanted to hide all of the legends. I don't want to see any of the legends because obviously you can't use them. So sometimes, you get into a mode where you're like, oh man, I'm going to take this and add it to the list. And then you don't notice that it's a legend until after you've constructed a list and you have an illegal list. So I go ahead and I do that in the beginning so I don't get that confused or have an illegal list where I'm going into an event. So first thing I want to add is the auto take Mr. Angron himself. All right, 415 points. So let's think this out a little bit, right? So the first list we're going to build with Angron. Second list we're going to build without another Angron, and the last list is going to be an actual list that I'm potentially going to use in the future. That's ultra aggressive. If you haven't watched my show before, I like these super oppressive, super aggressive lists that are very challenging to play with, right? I like to challenge myself and play complex lists, but they hit like a Mack truck and it will have the pain train in there. So we're going to take Angron. We're going to take Lord Invul, right? Because we want some scouting for a couple of our A-bound units. We're going to take Khorne. And we're going to take also the Mo. Where's the Mo at? All right. Mo is right here. We're going to want to take some enhancements. So we have 3 epic heroes, 1 character, Master of Executions. We're going to go ahead and put the Berserker Glaive on them for 25 points. All right. Angron, did we? Yeah, he's already the Warlord. Beautiful. So we're not going to have any issues there. You want the Berserker Glaive on the Mo. It gives him +1 attack, +1 damage. He has innate precision, right? And fights first, right? Really, really nasty. So Berserker Blade, add 1 to the attacks and damage. Which one is the one that gives you fight first? Trophy Taker. So while this model is leading a unit, models in that unit have the fight first ability. So really gross. And it also tells you what he can lead over here, right? So it's an amazing, amazing app. Actually, I've only dealt with this a couple of times. So me and you, the audience, are learning this for the first time. Kind of wanted to show you exactly how this goes. You can expand on the rules here too, right? On the profile. So you can see a little bit more of the information. Gives you all the keywords, the rules. Really, really nice. I really, really like this a whole lot. This is an amazing, amazing army builder. And I'm going to continue to use it in the future. I like building mine on the GW app, but I really like this as well. So when I'm not on my mobile and I'm just on the computer, I want to construct some lists or I want to see some more information because this has all the information in one location, right? Like on the GW app, you have to continuously go back and forth, add it, click into it to look at the info, add the weapons to it. This is all self-contained, very easy, very seamless. So I really like this application. I'm going to use it way more often in the future. Also, we want to make sure that we add some jackals into here. All right. Jackals are very good. I want to make sure that we have all of the proper things for jackals. So how do we change war gear over here? Oh, it's all in the top, which I really love. So we're going to go ahead. 1 dishonored. And change a couple of these out. Mauler chain blade. Dishonored. With chain blades, 1 of 2 dishonored. We don't need more than 1 or 2 dishonored. We definitely want to take the icon. All right. And we also want to take looks about right. Sustain hits. Feel no pain, 6 up. Obviously, when you do your blessings roll and you pick feel no pain, they get a 5 up feel no pain, which is really gnarly. Yep. Really liking that. So that's going to be configuration for the jackals. We're going to take a unit of Khorne Berzerkers to ride with either the Mo or Khorne. I love the ability to have them and throw all 12 of them in the Rhino. because you can pick and choose whatever opponent you're playing against, who you want to attach to the unit of Berzerkers, right? And you can really choose whichever one is your favorite. So Khorne with alternate weapons. There we go. So we're going to take a Eviscerator, and we're going to take 10 models. Sorry, 10 models. So 8. Actually, it's going to be 7 because we're going to take another Khorne Eviscerator because you can have 2 of them in a 10-man squad. All right, so I want to say it's right here. There you go. It's a completely legal list now. 7 Khorne Berzerkers, 2 with Eviscerators for 9, and then you have the champion in there. Beautiful. So now we have a legal list: 10 Khorne Berzerkers, 10 Jackals. Also, we are going to try to. Sorry about that, my peoples. Always, my phone is always beeping. Someone is always messaging, or it's always Discord. But anyways, obviously, we're going to take some spawn. We're at 1090, so 1,090 points. And then we're going to try out some 8-bound, of course. So 1 unit of 3, another unit of 3, and a fat unit of 6 exalted 8-bound. I really like to take these. We can't forget the rhino, so we got to make sure that we can fit a rhino in here as well. So I want to take 6 of these. Five, and then we have the champion for 6, right? The champion is going to take the paired 8-bound chain fist, right? You always want to put the chain fist on him. Getting those rerolls to wound is really good. Or you can always just take the Eviscerator and chain fist. Either or, it really doesn't make a big difference, to be quite honest with you. The biggest thing that I have noticed, right, is that if you take just the chain fist and not the paired chain fist, you only get 3 attacks. But you get 5 attacks for the Eviscerators. But if you take the paired, you get 5 attacks. Right? So it's really nice when you have 5 dudes with 4 attacks in the charge for 20 attacks, plus the champion 6 attacks for 26 attacks, rather than having 24 attacks. Right? So you get 2 additional attacks, strength 14, AP 3, 2 damage. Right? And it's twin linked. So I really like that, only for the reason of getting those 2 extra attacks. I think it really matters. And then you get the twin linked, which means that all 6 of his attacks most of the time are always going to wound. So it ups up your efficiency. Also, where are we at? 1710. So we talked about adding a rhino. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add a rhino into here as well. Try to give the rhino everything that it needs. So we're going to add a combi bolter and give it that. The havoc launcher as well. Might as well. They're free, right? And 1785. So we have exactly 215 points remaining. So for 215 points, we can roughly put in. So we'll have 75 points left over. We can either put another spawn unit in or another jackal unit in. I really like the spawn units. So we'll go ahead and duplicate this. Really like that. And we'll put a regular unit of 8-bound. So now we are 10 points below. Lacerator, Eviscerators, beautiful. And yeah, this is our list. So we have Angron, Khorne, Lord Invul, World Leaders, Master of Executions, the Mo, Jackals, Khorne Berserker, 10 of them. We could split this into 2 5-man units, right? So they can both go in the Rhino and have their own attached unit to them. I've noticed that the Mo with 10 of them fight first is a lot better than assisting Khorne. Khorne is really a torpedo and a beast within his own right. So he fights amazing just by himself anyways. Just make sure that you really stage him appropriately, jump him out when he needs to be jumped out, and hit the proper units that you need to hit. For example, you should hit units like scouts with him. He'll completely devour them. You should hit intercessors, inceptors, Votan, just about any unit except for like 10-man units of Votan, you can devour an entire unit of Votan, right? Eldar, you can get stuck in with Eldar units and really destroy them all. If you're fighting into Harlequins, a 5-girl unit of Harlequin troops, you can really destroy them. Things like that. That's really what you want to get them into. It's kind of softer, medium soft units like that, right? Even maybe Death Shroud. I've never actually fought into Death Shroud with him just by himself, but he can definitely do some work to Death Shroud if you think about it. He's 3 damage flat. They're 3 wounds each, I believe, 3 or 4 wounds each. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but he can really destroy a unit of 3 of those very quickly with all of his attacks. They're still going to have to make the 4+ invuls, and he has a lot of attacks to really go in there and fight. So he gets 9 attacks on a charge with Gorechild, right? Strength 7, AP 2, 3 damage. So they're going to have to use their invul. But Angron, Khorne, Lord Invul, Mo, Jackals, Khorne Berzerkers, regular A-bound, Exalted A-bound, Exalted, another 3-man unit, and a 6-man unit. You always want a 6-pack, right? You want to take these 2 right here, or any of the configurations of the 3, and have Lord Invul make both of them scouts, so the 6-pack and the 3-pack scout. The A-bound scout innately, and then the Exalted A-bound could just play mid-board. The beast, you just want to have them holding objective markers mid-board, backboard, depending on how many deep striking units you might have, and then have all of your amazing Berzerkers inside of the Rhino with Khorne, so Khorne doesn't kill anybody or anything, right? Depending if you're attaching him or not. All in the Rhino until you need to hop them out and fight with them. Let me go ahead and let's see if we can actually look at the list. List options. You can export it, add fours, modify cost limits. Don't do that. You get caught by a tournament organizer, it's going to be really bad, right? You can enable custom views and stuff like that. Give me 1 second. All right, so yeah, wrong one. So you're going to go to list options, export, and then you have all of this to export it in. I really like the text view. WTC compact. This is really nice, right? This is a very short list. Takes up like maybe half a page. And you could just copy the clipboard, throw it on a Word document, Google Doc, or whatever, and just print it out. And it tells you everything that you need. There's also the short version, right? And then, which has just that. This is completely amazing. And then the GW version, which break down everything a little bit longer, a little bit more paper, maybe 2 pages there, right? But you got a lot of options. So that's how you check your list and view your list. All right, now we're going to construct a new list. still going to be World Eaters. This is going to be the second one. And this is going to be V2 for version 2. Let me go ahead and create the list. Army roster, add force. Don't forget to add force, then create the list. Really love it. So this one was the one that I was telling you all that we're going to build without Angron. Lessons of Khorne, Detachment Choice, is a Berzerker Warband, and we do not want to see Legends. We want to see everything else but Legends. All right, configuration, no Angron. So this one, we're going to add still Khorne. He's still a beat stick. Still Lord Invul, right? We're going to add a Lord on Juggernaut because they are really nasty. We're going to make Khorne the Warlord because he's really hard to kill. So unless it matters for assassination or anything, it really doesn't matter for any secondaries. So you could just throw your Warlord out there and get him killed. It really doesn't matter. And then the Mo, of course. You don't actually have to click the plus button. You can actually just click over here. They make it very simple for you. So Master of Executions, we're going to put the Berzerker Glaive on them. I really like the Lord on Juggernaut with the Helm of Brazen Ire, right? So with that, and look at this neat little tool here, right? So World Eaters model, each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, half the damage characteristic of that attack. Really, really good. You can throw them out there and really start creating some real havoc with units like Rubric Marines or things that are 2 damage flamers and stuff like that, right? He could just go in there and engage and ensure that your A-bound are going to get in there after him as well. We're going to go ahead and add 2 DPs. All right. I really like the Demon Princes. I still think that they're very high priced, right? And we have 1 enhancement left, so we're going to take 3. But with him, one of them, you can either give them the helm, right? Or give one of them the favorite of Khorne. Because he's cavalry and a lot of things are anti-infantry or anti-monster, I haven't really seen much that's anti-cavalry, right? If anything at all. We're going to go ahead and leave the helm on the Juggernaut so he can get stuck in with things and put the favorite of Khorne on the DP. Really nasty. So what they're going to do in this list is get some Jackals in there as well. 9, 10, some Berzerkers. What he's going to do in this list is he's going to support all of the 8-bound and give them 4+ invulnerable saves. All right, because remember, the DPs, if you run behind 2 units of like 6 packs or anything, you can even do it with the regular 8-bound. Anything that has an invul already, it gives it, if it has a 5+ invul, it gives it a 4+ invul. So it just makes it a lot better. And it makes it a lot harder for the Exalted 8-bound. Plus, he's going to come in there and fight with them as well, potentially. But he's always going to be about 3 inches, 2 inches behind them. He only moves 8. 8-bound moves 9. Obviously, if you're getting the extra movement from the blessings, they're both going to be at +2. So then he's going to be at 10. They're going to be at 11. Things like that. Try to keep him with them as a support piece in this list, right? Jackals. We had to add the icon to the Jackals. And that was it for the Jackals. Did not add the Berzerkers yet. 1 unit Berzerkers. And I really love this too, right? And it lets you know how many you can actually take and if it's going to end up being an illegal list. So take 7 of these like we did before. Why? because eviscerators are amazing. All right. So we're going to take 2 eviscerators on this unit. And don't forget the icon. Put the icon. We could always throw plasma pistols in here too if you'd like. You want to throw plasma pistols in there? Go ahead. Mine are not configured with plasma pistols. I like to play the game very WYSIWYG, so I don't run it with plasma pistols unless I'm going to repaint 6 odd models to do it all over again. Right? We're 1155. We still haven't added the Exalted, so we're going to add 2 units of Exalted 6-pack. The champion is going to take the paired chain fist for me. We're going to duplicate that. And all right, so now we're getting up there in points. We're 1100, and now we went up 620 points because of those 2 units, right? Because they're 310 each. So 2 DPs, all of that. All right. What's that leave us with? 200. So I couldn't throw any Hell Brutes in there because we only have 225 points. And we haven't gotten any spawns in there either. So what we could do, right? Let's pivot a little bit. Drop the Lord on Juggernaut. All right. Let's run and with the DPs, put the Helm of Brazen on one of them, right? And then let's get us some shooting in here. Let's do that. Let's get 2 Forgefiends in here. All right. So we can deal with stuff. And we're going to put the ectoplasmas on them. Get rid of that. 2 ectoplasmas. That's the claws. Beautiful. Duplicated. We have 35 points remaining. 35 points. We really can't do anything until we start dropping, unless we start dropping some enhancements. So do we want to drop any enhancements? No. We really need a Rhino in there as well. So this is what it is to do list building, right? With World Eaters when you're trying to figure it all out. So we have Khorne, Lord Invo. A lot of expensive pieces because of the Demon Princes. Right. And even without Angron, this is very, very expensive. Just those 2 Demon Princes themselves. Both of them are more expensive than Angron. So we really need a Rhino in here. So, and this is good. This is a good exercise. So you can actually see where I'm list building and trying to figure it out. So we need to get rid of 40 points. 40 points could be, so this is 45 points right here because they're 200 points each. If we want to just take them as support pieces, that's fine. And we can just get rid of the enhancements. And now we have 5 extra points. But we always want to make sure that the Mo has his enhancement for the Berserker. All right. So that's our list. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at our list, export it, look at it through text format once again. And we'll do GW this time, just so you can see everything, right? Even tells you your secondaries breaking down, right? Assassination, 5 characters, number of units, 12, things like that. And obviously that would change if you're attaching characters to units. But you got 2 Demon Princes, Master of Execution, Berserker Blade costs you 25, Khorne, Lord Invo to give those fat bricks of Exalted, some Scout, 1 Jackal, 1 Berserker unit with the icon, and 2 Forgefiends so you can get some good shooting in there, some decent shooting, right? And a Rhino. Forgefiends are hit or miss, just to let everyone know. I actually like to take the KLOS, right? The Khorne Lord of Skulls. He's more efficient, high toughness, a lot harder to kill. longer range, even though the Forgefiends have 36-inch range, but they're only 3d3 with 3 ectoplasma cannons on them. They're hit or miss. Sometimes you'll shoot it and maybe kill a 5-man scout squad. Sometimes you'll shoot it and you'll kill a whole 10-man Votan squad, right? It really depends. And then we have the Rhino in there as well. So this is the end of our second list. And this is primarily built where the Demon Princes are going to support the Exalted 8-bound. Remember, the Demon Princes only affect infantry units, so it doesn't affect the spawn. It doesn't affect the Forgefiends, right? It does help all of your Jackals. It gives them invols. It helps your Berzerkers. It helps your Mo. It helps, or it doesn't actually, the Mo doesn't have an invul, so it helps your Mo. It doesn't help Khorne because he already has a 4-up, and it doesn't help the Lord Invul because he is Cavalry. So it's really going to be support pieces for the 2 Exalted. You're going to run behind them, support them. The Forgefiends are going to sit back on the 6 of all of those units, right? Behind all of those units to make sure they shoot at things, kill things where you're trying to go in, make things do battle shock tests, right? And then when you're making them do battle shock tests, you're going to stack that with the Exalted 8-bound that if they try to fall back, right, they're going to have to take a leadership test in order to fall back. So you can make it very challenging for them, especially if you're using it in close combat with the stratagem that gives them -1 to their leadership test or battle shock test, and also makes them do a battle shock test. So you can stack these all on top of each other and make it a battle shock leadership test fiasco for them. Then you have Khorne the Betrayer, is very strong. He's going to run in there like a torpedo, like I've always said, and really devour a lot of things. So yeah, and then you have Fight First from the Mo and the Berzerkers, and you're going to have a very good list here. That's the second list. One more list to go. All right, and the last list is actually something that I've constructed for myself. So the other 2 I've actually dabbled a little bit with them. The Demon Prince one, not so much. I've had thoughts about using the Demon Prince one, right? But because they're 200 points each, you really have to make them useful resources for your army, right? And if you're not taking Angron, you're probably at a deficit. But you never know. Maybe in your meta, they actually end up working out, or certain armies that you end up playing against, they might actually work out. Test it out. Let me know in the comments section how it works out for you, right? I'm not saying that none of this stuff is bad. I think all of this stuff is amazing as long as the pilot is using it correctly. And the last list, we're going to call it version 3. And we're going to add the World Eaters, 2,000 points, and then create our list. There we go. Make sure that we have our configurations correct. Strike Force, Blessings of Khorne, Detachment Choice, Berzerker, and hide all of the legend stuff. All right. So now that we're kind of getting used to the new recruit army builder, right? They're going to come in here and build all kinds of army lists, make it very seamless. If you play TTS, right, like you can take this list, put it on TTS as well, and it'll construct it for you. So you can have a good time and enjoy and try these new lists out. All right, so as always, I always take Angron, right, until that data slate hits in late September or mid-September, whenever it's coming out, and then it doesn't work. It better continue to work. They better not touch my World Eaters, our World Eaters army. But it's going to be Angron, Lord Invul, 1 unit of Jackals. Make sure that we put the icon on the unit of Jackals. Exalted, 1 unit of 3. Remember, I like to put the paired in there. And then I'm going to duplicate it because I'm going to take the second one and actually add 3 more, right? Make it a fat unit of 6. Another 6. So I'm going to have 15 Exalted. Spawn unit, another spawn unit, and yes, one of my favorite pieces to actually play with, the Khorne Lord of Skulls. 1975. Yes, it's 25 points down. Who cares? This is an amazing, amazing piece. I like to take the Demon Gore. Demon Gore, yes, strength 14, AP 4, D6 plus 2 damage, even though it's range 18. It's absolutely amazing. That thing will blow up just about anything. The Skull Hurler is amazing, 60-inch range, 2d6 shots. Hitting on 3 is 14 minus 3, 3 damage flat. That will destroy anything. I've destroyed land raiders, rhinos, raiders, Drukari raiders and things like that. That thing will destroy anything. Just the Skull Hurler itself. All right. Then the Great Cleaver. Everyone knows what the Great Cleaver does. It's absolutely amazing. 6 attacks on the charge. Strength 17, AP 4, 8 damage flat. Yeah, gross. So this is the list that I was telling everyone about, right? Super aggressive, super finesse, right? It uses all the tools to really destroy what you need to destroy in the game. There's nothing that you won't be able to destroy. If you're going into Dark Angels, you throw Angron into them, right? And be super aggressive with Angron. Who cares if they're -1 damage? Angron is 3 damage flat without even rolling a die. And then they're going to take 2 damage each, even if you roll a 1 on that D6 plus 2. The reason I'm saying you can be super aggressive with him is because you have the Lord of Skulls. So you're going to want to shoot things like scouts, smaller units, and kill those units out, right? Shoot them. Shoot 1 unit. Shoot another unit. Kill 2 units, and then tank shock another unit and fight another unit. Fight 3 and kill 3 units, right? That way you can get Angron back. If you got to run Angron out there and you got to fight 5 Terminators from Deathwing Terminators, make him do that, right? Give him sustained hits. He has all the full rerolls, right? Or he can give himself +1 attack. If that really appeases you. I probably wouldn't do that. I go full rerolls because it's a better efficiency with that. But you can do that with with the Angron. All right. Lord Invocatus, obviously you bring him to scout those 2 fat bricks of Exalted 8-bound. All right. You really want him to get these units stuck into things. So if you're fighting into Blood Angels, I know the new Blood Angels is coming out very soon, right? And they have that unit with Sanguinary Guard where they can take that relic and they can fight first. Don't put the Exalted 8-bound into it. Put the Lord of Skulls into it. Shoot them. Don't even bother fighting them. They're going to fight before you if they have the fight first rule, right? Especially if you charge them. Shoot them. If they can do anything to Angron, charge them with Angron, right? Then bring Angron back. Bring Angron back 3 times if you have to with the Lord of Skulls. Then you have the beasts, the Chaos Spawns. Chaos Spawns are really just going to help you, just like the Jackals, to make things either sticky on death for the spawn or sticky on the tabletop from the Jackals. But they're going to hold all your objectives. They're going to cover all of your flanks, making sure that things don't deep strike in your 6 and your back, right? While everything else is going in there and just burning, maiming, and killing. Murdering everything in its path, right? 15, Exalted 8-bound. I really am not the biggest fan of regular 8-bound. I love the Exalted 8-bound. They're just better. If you're going into things like Eldar, Dark Eldar, Votann, things that have a low toughness, Tau, right? You can just use all of those Eviscerators. You're hitting on 2s as opposed to 3s, like the regular 8-bound. Yes, they're 15 points more, but they're totally worth it. You get a 5-up Feel No Pain with the Feel No Pain Blessing roll. You're hitting on 2s. You're not getting as many attacks, but you're still getting a ton of attacks, right? You're losing like 1 attack from a regular 8-bound. And you're also losing the reroll 1s to wound and the full rerolls to wound. But if you're playing with World Eaters and you're really depending on having things that are below half strength, you're not killing things appropriately. You should be killing things from full health all the way to death. All right? So that's how you should be doing it. 6 Exalted 8-bound. You run these 12 Exalted 8-bound into a great Unclean one with the enhancement with 4-up Feel No Pain. it will die. Period. It will die. All right. Angron, play super aggressive. Lord Invo can go out there as well. If you have Jakari, they have splinter weapons, anti-infantry. You can throw him out there. He can fight things. Okay. Make a -1 damage, 2 CP from the stratagem. So they can't kill him that fast. And he just goes in there, harasses things. So this is a very, very good list. Super aggressive. You have your units to sit in the back 40, hold you, and get you all of the points, while the Exalted 8-bound are getting you all of your other points for your secondaries, killing units, assassination, getting into table quarters, things like that. Angron, you want to play mid-board with him with the Lord of Skulls, or play ultra aggressive if you're going into Thousand Suns, right? If you're going into Thousand Suns, throw him at Magnus. Make sure that he kills Magnus turn 1. If they have Vortex beasts, you want to kill those Vortex beasts turn 1, right? So go after whatever, one of those two, or try to go after all 3 of them. If you have the Exalted 8-bound, all 12 of them running next to each other, kill one of the Vortex beasts, send Angron to Magnus and kill Magnus. Yes, he can take one, use one stratagem to zero out one of the damage rolls, and another one to -1 damage, I believe, right? I don't know if he could use both of them, but I know he has the ability to do both. But try to kill him, right? Get sustained hits in there. Get some lethal hits in there. Run both of those blessings. Do +1 to wounds. Stratagem as well. Make sure that you're hitting on 2s, re-rolling all hits, sustained hits, lethals, and wounding on 2s with Angron against Magnus. Make sure that you're killing him with the big strikes, and you want to hit him with the big strikes. Hopefully you get a lot of sustained hits, so maybe you end up hitting him 12 times, and with re-roll hits, hitting on 2s, you're always going to hit 12 times, right? So you do 12 hits with the sustained hits. You're going to roll the wound. You might roll 1 or 2, so you're going to wound 10 times. He's going to have to roll up that 4 invulnerable save. He's going to maybe make 50% of them, so 5 of them. He's going to plink 1, right, for 4 of them, and he's still going to take 4 of them. If you roll effectively 4 damage each one, which is just rolling a 2, you'll kill Magnus himself, right, just by taking 4. So make sure you use them effectively. Be smart with this list. I'm going to actually try out this list a multitude of more times. I really like it. It's super. It's a glass hammer. It can die very fast, but it's a challenge, and I really like it. So yeah, this is the last list. I kind of wanted to show everybody. And once again, if we go to the text format, you can see everything on here. Right? You only have 2 characters for assassination. You have nothing for bringing down a number of units. It's 9 as opposed to what we saw for the other one was 12. Jackals, Angron, Lord Invol, all of the Exalted, 2 spawn units of 2, and the Khorne Lord of Skulls. So yeah. So hopefully this helped out everyone and how to use the new recruit. And you saw a couple army lists of world leaders that I'd like to construct. So once again, thank you very much to everyone who participated and watched all the way to the end and watched the show entirely, right? I really hope that I was able to help you out understand the new recruit, the new army builder that's been out relatively not long, right? It's taken over the Battle Scribe, like I was telling you in the beginning. Battle Scribe is no longer updated, no longer in use, and a lot of tournament organizers like myself no longer allow it. So this is its replacement. I really think it's amazing. It's an amazing tool. It's a free tool, right? Please share this with your friends. Let them know about the new recruit. Let them know how easy it is to use, how it's free to use. You can use it on your mobile app as well. And I really hope you enjoyed the World Eaters list that I constructed today. I gave you some variety, different flavors of how you can construct something that might work very well for you. All right. Thank you so much. As always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to watch our other series on everything that we do on the Onslaught Gaming 40K platform. You have a wonderful night. And as always, Onslaught Gaming 40K, where victory is just a strategy away. Take care. And don't forget, burn, maim, kill, blood for the blood god. Ah!